Are you stealing the show? It's Amanda and Teo, and I have my little helper, Sophie, here with me. Are you my helper? Oh, bless you.
Yes.
Yes, yes, you're my little helper. And as you can see, Sophie wants everything to do with mommy these days, especially when it has to do with taking care of Teo. So she's going to help me with this update, aren't you? I was planning on just skipping a 2-month update and going straight to a 3-month update, but there's so much to talk about this month, and so I thought I'm just going to make an update anyway. Because this little guy, he's huge, you guys. He's ginormous. Aren't you? Mwah. Little Teo is now 2 months old. He had his little 2-month checkup on Friday. And this kid is now 15 pounds. That means, you guys, that he has grown. I can't even believe this. He is so huge. He's grown 6 pounds in 2 months. 6 pounds in 2 months. This kid, he's just can't be stopped. And he's grown 2.5 inches since birth. He was 21 inches at birth, and he is now 23.5 inches. And his head, just like my other babies, is giant. His head was 16.5 inches, which is 99th percentile. So that is par for the course for my giant headed babies, huh? Yes, you're just a big boy. You're just a big boy, huh? You're just a squishy, chunky little monkey, aren't you? And as you can see, breastfeeding is going quite well. So his length is the 75th percentile, his weight is the 99th percentile, and his head is the 99th percentile. This kid is ginormous. My son Alex was also a huge, huge baby, but he's even bigger than my son Alex was, and that is saying something because he was a giant baby as well. But this guy, oh my goodness, you are even surpassing your brother. So we think he's gonna be a big boy when he grows up. So we think that he could be a 6-footer because we have some very tall lurking genes in our genetics. Bill and I are pretty average height, but his brother is very tall. He has cousins that are really, really tall, like well over 6 feet. So we think that this little guy could have gotten the tall gene because, oh my gosh, he's huge. It'll be interesting to see how tall he is at age 2 because they say approximately they are double their height at age 2. That will be their final adult height. So it'd be interesting to see when we get there how big you'll be. This kid is thriving and he's doing quite well. And he's also quite physical. Like, you can tell that he's really wanting to keep up with his brother and sister. He rolled over at 5 weeks and we were kind of surprised. We were trying to do tummy time one day and on the floor, and he was like leaning his head over like he was trying to roll over, and I have a video of it that I will put right here.
Let's start you up on your tummy. He's pushing so hard.
Oh, he's giant. Oh,
there he goes.
You just rolled over, little guy. You're 5 weeks old. Almost 6 weeks. Almost 6 weeks. 5.5. Hi, little guy. He did it first at 5 weeks, and then he didn't do it for like a week, and then it, 7 weeks or whatever, he started doing it consistently again, and he's now, whenever we do tummy time, he always rolls over now. He still obviously doesn't go from back to tummy because that's harder. As you can see, he's discovered his hands and he started chewing on his hands. We think he may end up being a thumb sucker, like little miss over here, as you can see. But he also loves his binky. But he only takes it when he's upset. Like, some kids want it all the time, but he won't take it if he's just content. He just wants it only when he's upset. And it has to be if he's upset for a reason other than being hungry. Because if he's hungry, he won't take it either. But if he's just fussy, general purpose fussy, he'll take the binky and he likes it. So that's how that's going. I think I mentioned in his 1-month update that he has this tendency to push his head backwards like that. And his doctor wanted him to get seen at Children's just to have our bases covered. I couldn't get an appointment till January, so we're still waiting for our appointment on that. But it's also lessened quite a bit since as he gets older and more capable, head control and that kind of thing. He seems to be doing it far less. But he has a really strong, good neck control. Oh, so I also forgot to mention with his size, he's in 6-month clothes now at 2 months. These are 6-month clothes, and as you can see, they fit pretty darn well. And you guys probably saw my cloth diaper video for 0 to 3 month cloth diapers. If you haven't seen that, I will put it here. But he is actually now already outgrowing like the largest setting on the infant cloth diapers, or on the infant cloth diaper setting, and he's outgrowing my size small yellow edge pre-folds. So like this kid, I can barely keep up with him. I'm constantly switching over diaper sizes and switching over clothes sizes. It seems like it's like every other week that I am literally switching over his wardrobe and like boxing things up. The nice thing about him being our last baby is once I box things up, like I can donate them or sell them, send them off to Goodwill. I'm saving just my favorite outfits in a memory box, and it feels good to be starting that process of getting rid of the baby stuff. As you can see, he's really, really alert. He's been really alert since birth. I've talked about that before. He's just a very aware little kid. He has the wide eyes and is very inquisitive. And you can tell that he, in that way, wants to keep up with his brother and sister as well. He's definitely starting to like smile socially and vocalize with like back and forth. If you talk to him, he'll go, "Ow." He's definitely starting to make noises that are intentional and not just random noises. And that's been really fun to watch. I got a really good video of him talking to my mom the other day, and I'll put that in. It's so cute.
I love you, Grandma. I love you, Mommy. Yes, I do. I love you, Tail. Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah, you talking to me, aren't you? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Ow. Ow.
So yeah, all around he's bigger, and his demeanor just seems older than he is. So like wherever we go, people think that he's 6 months old because he's the size of a 6-month-old, and just he's so alert and aware that he looks like his 6-month-old in his demeanor as well. Are you a precocious little guy? So it happens with the third child wanting to keep up with the older two, huh? So yeah, and the only other thing I wanted to mention about him is that he doesn't have any baby acne, like hardly any at all. And both of my other kids at this stage had pretty bad baby acne, especially my son had it pretty bad at this point. And this kid's skin, I mean, you can see it's really clear. It's really clear. Who's that? Say hi. Yeah. So that's all I wanted to say about him. And in terms of me, I'm doing pretty well in terms of postpartum now. Like, bleeding stopped several weeks ago, so that, I mean, that's nice that that's completely done. Why don't you go play for a couple minutes and then we'll have your bath, okay? In terms of weight loss, you guys, I have completely plateaued. And it's been stuck that way for several weeks now. I'm one of those people that, you know, breastfeeding helps a little bit with weight loss for me, but more so it helps me retain weight, especially when my body is trying to keep up with a baby this chunky. I'm starving. I'm starving all the time. The hunger is like even more intense than pregnancy hunger sometimes. I'm so hungry, and I'm especially hungry in the evening. So I do eat a lot in the evening. I don't eat a whole lot in the morning, so I guess that kind of offsets it. So there's that. Being that it's the holidays and there's been a lot of like Christmas cookies and goodies and whatnot that people have been giving to us, and I just have had no self-control, especially when I'm sleep deprived and it's like, it's there. If it's there, I eat it, and that's normally how I exercise self-control, is that I just don't have it in the house because then I can't eat it. And I'm pretty good about not purchasing that kind of thing in the first place, and I don't bake very much for the sake of not eating it. But since it's been around, I've been eating it. But being that it's the holidays, I am trying to just maintain, not gain. So plateauing around the holidays is, I guess that's okay with me, as long as I'm not gaining it again. So that's my goal, is to just kind of hold steady through the holidays and then really try and lose again. I have been starting to exercise more regularly again since I am past my 6-week mark, and that has been feeling so good to start exercising again. I've only been managing about 2 times a week or thereabouts, but I am starting to slowly ramp up the intensity again, and that feels really good. I bought a bunch of postnatal workout DVDs and I have been doing those, and I really enjoyed that. I find that just being a busy mom, that is the most cost-effective way and just logistical way for me to exercise, because A, we can't afford a gym membership right now and the childcare that goes with it, and B, it's just logistically difficult to go with kids or to arrange childcare so you can go without them. And it's just a lot easier for me to do it at night after they go to bed, or if we have, you know, a grandma here hanging out with them or whatever, for me to do it then. So I have been doing that, and I'm hoping that also increasing the exercise will help with continuing with the postpartum weight loss. So that's where I'm at with that. I have also been having really bad back pain, and I knew this was coming. Like, I just have a bad back. Don't mind me bouncing, he likes bouncing. I just have like some bad ligaments in my like mid-low back. Each pregnancy has been exacerbated, and then once they're on the outside, you know, the poor posture with nursing, carrying a heavy, especially a chunky baby around like this, my back pain has been really bad. Unfortunately, our insurance does not cover massage therapy, but that's what is most effective at treating it for me. So I've just been, you know, trying to have Bill do the best that he can do with helping me treat my back. I've been doing a lot of heat and ice and rolling on my foam roller. All right, moms, if you guys don't have a foam roller, you need to get one. If you have back pain, it is amazing. It helps so much, especially if you have bad posture from nursing and, you know, that kind of thing. It helps so much at the end of the day to just, it's really intense, but it feels so good afterwards. Just rolling on that roller and like just laying on the spots that really hurt the most. It's almost like self-chiropractic, almost. Things go snap, crackle, and pop in there. So yeah, I've been dealing with that. I'm thinking it might be worth it for me to just pay cash for massage, you know, once a month or something like that. So we'll see. Maybe I'll go back to the chiropractor. And then the only other thing that I wanted to mention is that my skin has been like the driest it has ever been in my life. Like the skin on my face, I don't know what is going, I mean, I know that it's generally like that more in the winter when the air is drier. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to hurry. He's getting fussy and it's almost bedtime. Like, I've purchased some new like natural night creams and stuff that are supposed to be like intense moisture, and even those aren't enough. It's so crazy that like coconut oil is not enough, all the natural things. And you guys, this is crazy. I've been having to put Vaseline on my face because that is the only thing that keeps it from like getting so dry that it almost cracks. So I'm just wondering if there's like a postpartum hormonal factor to that, because it's so strange that like my face is so dry that I have, the only thing that helps it is Vaseline, which is crazy. Like at any other point previous in my life, if I put Vaseline on my face, it would just break out like mad, but it's not doing that. And my face is like, oh, thank you for the moisture, and it just sucks it up. And sometimes I even have to put it on twice a day and I'm not breaking out. So I don't know what the deal is with the dry skin. Like, have you guys ever experienced that postpartum before? It seems like such a strange symptom, but that's been happening. Oh, and the last, I almost forgot, I should also mention sleep about him. Sleep has been going pretty well. He's completely got day and night figured out now, which is great. I mentioned in my 1-month update that we have him in the bassinet in our walk-in closet, which, being that he is the size of a 6-month-old now, he's gonna outgrow it soon. Like, he only has like 1.5 inches left on like the top and the bottom before he's gonna be like the length of the bassinet. So we're gonna have to figure out something soon. We're not sure if we're gonna have Alex and Sophie share a room at first, or if we're gonna put Teo in with Sophie, or what. We haven't quite figured it out yet, but I am on the lookout for bunk beds right now, because eventually we want to have bunk beds in each of the kids' rooms. So on my Facebook marketplace, I've been keeping an eye out for gently used bunk beds. Oh, this guy's getting fussy, so I gotta hurry. So anyway, in terms of sleep, he goes like more than the first half of the night in his bassinet now, which is fantastic. I mentioned in my previous video that we do all the things that we've done with our other kids in order to induce sleep and make a sleepy environment. Swaddling, darkness, white noise, all of these, you know, we put him in his jammies, do all these routines, and at the exact same time every night, and he's really responding well to that. He knows that when it gets to be that time, he goes to sleep, and it's usually about like 9 when he goes to sleep. So yeah, it's usually like right after we put the other kids to bed, we put him to bed, and then he is pretty consistently doing like a 4 to 5 hour stretch after we put him to bed at night. And then he just does sleepy feeds for the rest of the night every, I would say, 3 hours after that, where he mostly stays asleep, but I just nurse him. Or Alex, why don't you let her play with them for 5 minutes, then you can play with them for 5 minutes. You need to go to your room. Give them back to her and find something else to do. Oh my gosh, as you can tell, it is the witching hour, so I gotta hurry. These are falling apart because it's bedtime. So yeah, then he just sleeps the rest of the night in bed with me. As you can hear, everybody is melting down. So I have got to close this up, and it is bedtime. This is like reality of motherhood right here. Reality. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing well, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you next time. We say bye-bye.